Must know. 5 secret signs a woman wants you to make a move on her now. Modern Stoic. Imagine this. You're sitting at a cozy coffee shop, sunlight spilling through the windows, casual chatter filling the air. Across the table, a woman you've been talking to laughs softly at your jokes, her eyes sparkling a little more than usual. She leans in just a bit closer, touches her hair, and holds your gaze a second longer than necessary. In that moment, a question flashes in your mind. Is she waiting for me to make a move? You hesitate, the moment passes, and you leave wondering what could have been. If you've ever lived a moment like that, today's message is going to open your eyes in ways you never expected. Because the truth is, attraction isn't announced with words, it's whispered through 1,000 silent gestures. And today, I'm going to reveal the 5 secret signs that show a woman is hoping, praying, that you'll take the next step. As the timeless saying goes, the most important things are the hardest to say, because words diminish them. And when it comes to the language of attraction, this could not be more true. Now, listen carefully. Most men miss these signs not because they're clueless, but because they're looking for fireworks when often it's the quiet spark that matters most. Society has conditioned women for generations to be subtle, guarded, and indirect when it comes to expressing interest. Speaking boldly about desire was once seen as improper, and even today, that deep-rooted caution lingers. That's why she'll show you, not tell you, through her body language, her eyes, her voice, and those small but powerful shifts in energy when she's around you. And if you don't see them, she might silently retreat, wondering if you ever noticed her at all. But here's the good news. Once you tune into these signals, you'll experience a transformation not just in your dating life, but in your confidence as a man. You'll move with certainty, not hesitation. You'll respond with respect, not force. You'll step into the ancient dance of attraction with the strength of a man who listens to the unspoken music. It's not about manipulation. It's about emotional intelligence, the ability to sense the unseen currents between two people. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And when you start thinking with deeper awareness, you unlock a richer, more rewarding connection with the world around you. Mastering this art doesn't make you a mind reader. It makes you a man of wisdom. A man who understands that real connection is often born in silence, in the unsaid, in the glance that lingers a little too long. So if you're ready to step into a higher level of connection, a deeper awareness of the silent invitations women send, stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change the way you experience relationships forever. Drop a comment below if you're ready. I am ready to understand her world. Let's begin. Sign 1. She initiates playful physical touch. In a world where digital screens and shallow conversations have replaced genuine human interaction, understanding a woman's nonverbal cues is not just a skill, it's a mark of wisdom, especially for a man between 35 and 70 who values real connection over fleeting games. And among the most telling and yet often misunderstood signs that a woman wants you to make a move is when she initiates playful physical touch. Because, make no mistake, when a woman taps your arm as she bursts into laughter, when she reaches out to adjust your tie or pretend to brush off an invisible speck on your shirt, when she casually bumps into you during a conversation or gently places her hand on your shoulder to emphasize a point, these actions are not random acts of friendliness. They are calculated yet playful bridges, subtle yet powerful, created to test the waters and see if you're emotionally intelligent enough to recognize them. And, as the ancient Stoics taught, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, meaning if you allow yourself to think in a cynical or dismissive way, you might miss these golden invitations disguised in simplicity. Every time she finds an excuse to close the distance between your bodies, she's sending out a bold yet non-threatening signal that she wants you to move closer, that she desires your attention, and that she is ready for something more. But because pride and over-analysis often block clarity, many men either freeze, second-guess, or tragically misinterpret these beautiful, silent messages. Yet wisdom demands a different response. Awareness without desperation, presence without pressure, boldness without arrogance, and, truly, the man who understands that light touches are profound gateways to deeper connections stands far above the rest. For as Epictetus once declared, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do, meaning once you realize you are the man she seeks, a strong, calm, observant man, you must rise to meet her subtle advances without fear or hesitation. And the key here is not to overthink or immediately leap like an eager boy, but rather to lean slightly into her touch, match her playfulness with a grounded smile, and establish that you are attuned to her rhythm, because true attraction is less about aggressive pursuit and more about mirroring energies in a dance of mutual understanding. If she feels your calm acceptance and your confident awareness, her attraction will blossom effortlessly, because in the end, women are drawn not to those who chase recklessly, but to those who understand when to step forward and when to simply hold steady in their power. And let me be absolutely clear. When a woman repeatedly finds reasons to touch you in innocent ways, she is often hoping you will notice and respond in a way that assures her she chose a man of courage and wisdom, not one of obliviousness or fear. So in modern times, when many men are glued to their phones or lost in their heads, the rare man who can read these signs with clarity is the man who naturally becomes magnetic, respected, and desired. Thus, let this truth sink deep into your bones. Touch is a language older than words, more honest than 1,000 declarations, and if you dare to understand it, you hold the key to unlocking emotional intimacy with grace and confidence. Because no woman wants to scream her interest aloud, she wants a man perceptive enough to see it and brave enough to meet it without hesitation. And, as you reflect on this wisdom today, ask yourself, are you present enough to notice when life or love taps you on the shoulder? If you believe you are, then stand tall, because you are already steps ahead of most men. Now, if this message resonates with your spirit, comment below. I am the man who knows the signs. Subscribe to this channel for more timeless wisdom. And remember always, in a world full of noise and confusion, actions will forever speak louder than words. And the real man is the one who listens, not only with his ears, but with his heart, his instincts, and his unshakable calm presence. Sign 2. She finds ways to be close to you. Picture this. You're standing at a gathering, chatting with a group of people, and you notice her, not just once, but again and again, subtly moving closer to you, finding reasons to brush past you, choosing the seat nearest to you even when the whole room is open. My friend, this is not random. This is a secret signal written loud and clear in the language of attraction, and if you don't catch it, you might miss out on an opportunity that could change everything. Because when a woman is drawn to you, she will find ways to close the physical distance, to orbit nearer to your gravitational pull, and she does it with a grace so natural that you might dismiss it as coincidence, but make no mistake. It is a silent invitation, a deliberate test of your awareness, and only a man with the eyes of a king will notice and act. For as Marcus Aurelius once declared, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. And in this modern world of missed chances and emotional confusion, the injury is your ignorance if you fail to see the obvious signs God himself placed before you. Now, imagine her movements again with new eyes. When she passes by your side 2, 3 times in a crowded room, when she leans close enough for you to feel her energy even under the hum of casual conversation, when her hand brushes yours while pretending to reach for a glass. These are not accidents. These are deliberate, micro-calibrated actions filled with meaning, designed to catch your attention without exposing her vulnerability outright. And when you realize this truth, the only question that remains is, will you rise to the moment or will you let the door close in your face forever? Because let me be crystal clear, there is no neutral ground in attraction. You either seize the moment or lose it, and once lost, regret becomes your bitter companion. You see, modern Stoicism teaches that fate whispers, but destiny belongs to those who listen and act. A man who stands still when life calls him forward is a man already defeated, not by others, but by himself. And if she positions herself closer to you time and again, understand, it's not her role to shout, It's yours to see and lead, because real masculine energy does not hesitate when opportunity knocks softly. It moves with bold certainty. It claims the space that has already been offered. And this is why the wise men throughout history have always stressed the importance of readiness. Fortune favours the bold, as the Roman proverb says, and in matters of love, it favours the man who sees, decides, and acts while the window is still open. So let this be your wake-up call. If you notice her gravitating toward you, do not stay frozen like a deer in headlights. Do not second-guess yourself into oblivion, because hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. And in that moment, you must channel your focus, your courage, your presence, make eye contact, smile warmly, and initiate conversation with calm confidence, because she has already broken the first barrier for you. She has given you permission without speaking a word. And the real test now is whether you are man enough to take the lead she so desperately wants you to take. Life rewards decisive men, not passive observers. And believe me, the regret of realizing you were too blind or too slow to act on a woman's silent invitation is regret that stays, gnaws, and festers. So don't just be another man who looks back wondering, what if? Be the man who seizes the what now and transforms it into destiny. Because when you truly master the art of noticing these cues, you will find that women practically open the door of connection for you, leaving it to you to walk through with dignity and strength. This is your moment, your signal, your divine whisper telling you to act, not tomorrow, not next week, but now, because real power belongs to those who dare to move first when others freeze. So next time you feel her drawing closer, remember, she's hoping you're brave enough to step forward, and she'll respect you forever if you do. Therefore, comment below right now with the words, "I'm ready to make my move." Lock it into your mind, your spirit, your identity, because from today forward, you are no longer a passive man watching life pass you by. You are the force that life responds to. Sign 3. She mirrors your body language. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked signs that a woman wants you to make a move is when she mirrors your body language. And understand this clearly, it is never random. It is never meaningless. Because at the deepest psychological level, mirroring is a powerful subconscious expression of trust, interest, and emotional resonance. When a woman mirrors you, whether it's by adopting your posture, copying your gestures, matching your tone of voice, or syncing her energy with yours, it's her soul's quiet way of whispering, "I feel safe around you, I'm opening up to you, I want to move closer to you." And the wise man who knows how to observe, not just hear, but truly listen with his whole being, will recognize that these moments are pure gold in human interaction, opportunities few men ever notice because they're too busy chasing words and missing the silent music of the heart. And think about this. If you cross your arms and she crosses hers moments later, or if you lean in and suddenly notice she instinctively leans in too, or if you speak a little slower and she unconsciously adjusts her speech to mirror your pace, this is not by chance. This is nature's way of saying the gates are opening between you, an invisible bridge is forming, and only those with the wisdom and courage to walk across it will ever experience the true depth of a woman's heart, because real attraction, the kind that stirs the soul, is never built on surface-level tricks, but on this deep emotional tuning, much like two guitars placed near each other begin to vibrate in sympathy when one is strummed, a phenomenon scientists call sympathetic resonance, and humans, with all our complexity, are not so different. The ancient Stoics taught us that nature leaves signs everywhere for those disciplined enough to see them, and as Marcus Aurelius once said, observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change the things that are, and to make new things like them, which reminds us that the heart, too, signals its changes subtly, through mirroring, through shifts in energy, through the silent adjustments a woman makes when she feels magnetically drawn toward a man's presence. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. People naturally mirror those they admire, those they are comfortable with, those they subconsciously want to be closer to. And when she mirrors you, it's not because she's plotting or playing games, it's because deep down, her instincts are steering her toward emotional safety, connection, and perhaps the beginning of intimacy. But let me make this even clearer with a real-life example. Imagine you're sitting at a quiet cafe, you lean back in your chair, relaxed but attentive, and a woman across from you slowly leans back too, mirroring your posture almost like a slow dance of the spirits. And later, when you lean forward slightly to emphasize a point you're making, she follows suit, eyes bright, energy leaning toward yours, and perhaps you smile warmly. And a second later, she smiles too, mirroring not just your body, but your emotions. This, my friend, is not coincidence. This is ancient biology and human longing, working hand in hand, crafting a moment of resonance that few recognize and even fewer act upon. And if you are wise, you will not hesitate, because opportunities to build deep attraction are fragile and fleeting, and hesitation is the enemy of connection. And remember, too, what the great psychologist Carl Jung said: the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. So when you see her mirroring you, know that the transformation has already begun in her heart, and your role is not to second guess, not to analyze the moment to death, but to trust, lean into the energy with calm, masculine certainty, and escalate the interaction with purpose, deepen the conversation, reveal more of your authentic self. Let the atmosphere between you become more intimate, because mirroring is not a destination, but an invitation to advance further. And if you don't respond, the moment will pass, the opportunity will slip away, and you may never know what could have blossomed. Even more importantly, be the man who leads the dance of connection, because in today's modern world, where so many men are frozen by overthinking and fear of rejection, the man who moves with quiet confidence stands apart like a lighthouse in a storm, a beacon that women can't help but be drawn to. And when you recognize the mirroring, when you feel the connection brewing, when you see the signs written not in words but in body and energy, step into the space with courage, because true masculinity is about seeing the door open and having the strength to walk through it, not waiting for it to swing wide and hit you in the face. So, I challenge you, the next time you're in a conversation with a woman, pay attention not just to what she says, but how she says it, how she moves, how she matches your rhythm, your tone, your very spirit. And when you catch her mirroring you, smile inwardly, because you've been given a glimpse into her hidden feelings, and you now stand at the threshold of deeper connection, a place where few dare to tread, but where the rewards are immeasurable. And before we wrap up, I want to ask you something powerful. Have you ever noticed a woman mirroring your body language, your energy, your speech? And what did you do with that knowledge? Did you lean in, or did you let the moment pass? Share your story in the comments below, because your experience might just be the mirror another man needs to recognize his moment when it arrives. Sign 4. She gives you prolonged eye contact. When a woman is truly interested in you, her eyes become a silent but potent messenger, speaking directly to your instincts in ways that words never could. And one of the clearest and most ancient signs of this interest is prolonged eye contact, not the fleeting, casual glances of everyday conversation, but a deep, lingering, intentional gaze that seems to tether her attention to yours and invites you to feel the invisible bridge forming between your souls. When you catch a woman holding your gaze longer than social norms require, you are not just witnessing good manners. You are standing at the edge of a potential connection that could change everything. And this is where many men fall short, either out of nervousness, fear of misinterpretation, or because they simply fail to recognize the profound language being spoken with just the eyes. And this is a tragedy because, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once taught, first learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. And the same applies to eye contact. First learn to understand what her gaze is telling you before you rush to conclusions or retreat into doubt. Prolonged eye contact from a woman is a rare and precious gift in a world where distractions are many and genuine attention is scarce. And when she locks eyes with you and her gaze lingers, often accompanied by a softness in her features, a slight smile, or a delicate tilt of her head, she is inviting you into a private, unspoken conversation, a world where only you and she exist in that moment, and the man who knows how to read this message and respond with confidence, calmness, and presence is the man who captures her heart without ever uttering a single clumsy pickup line, because he understands that real connection begins not with clever words, but with courage and attentiveness to the signals right in front of him. And let's be honest, in modern times where eye contact is increasingly rare and people often hide behind screens and social barriers, a woman daring to hold your gaze is an act of vulnerability, of openness, of hope that you will see her not just with your eyes, but with your understanding. So if you choose to look away nervously or pretend not to notice, you are not merely missing a chance. You are sending a message that you are blind to connection. And that kind of missed opportunity rarely comes twice, because as the great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength, meaning that when you see her gaze and feel the pull, it is your responsibility to overcome whatever inner fears you have and meet her halfway with equal intensity. The signs are there, the gentle widening of her pupils, the slight shimmering curiosity in her eyes, the way her attention seems to block out the rest of the room, and they are begging you not to overthink, but to respond with grounded masculine energy that says, "I see you too, and I am not afraid of this moment, because if you hesitate, if you retreat into shyness or skepticism, you risk disappointing not only her silent invitation, but also your own potential for deep, authentic connection. This is not the time to debate, second-guess, or drown in a sea of what-ifs. This is the time to lean in emotionally, to match her warmth with your own presence, to offer a subtle but unmistakable smile that says, "I understand you," because when you do, the atmosphere between you will thicken with an unspoken promise, a magnetic charge that can turn a simple shared look into the beginning of something extraordinary. Remember, it's not about staring her down or trying to dominate with your gaze. It's about holding space for her, allowing her to see that you are strong enough to handle her attention and tender enough to honor her vulnerability. And when you do this, you activate a deep primal trust within her, the kind that paves the way for intimacy and emotional bonding beyond the surface level. So the next time a woman holds your gaze, I urge you not to squander that moment. Feel the courage rise within you, feel the call to connection, and answer it with strength and calmness, because in that sacred exchange of glances, something greater than attraction is being forged. It's the beginning of a relationship based on mutual recognition and respect. Think of it like this. She has thrown the first spark into the air between you, and it is up to you to either let it die out with indifference or to fan it into a flame with your attentive, grounded response. So now, I ask you, what will you choose when the next pair of eyes meets yours with that unmistakable, lingering invitation? Will you act like most men and fumble the moment away? Or will you rise above the noise, the doubt, the hesitation, and become the kind of man who recognizes a golden opportunity when he sees it? Share your thoughts and your experiences below. Have you ever felt that electric connection in someone's eyes and seized the moment? Or have you let it slip away and regretted it later? Let's talk about it in the comments, because every story, every reflection strengthens the brotherhood of men striving to become wiser, stronger, and more attuned to the powerful signals of real human connection. And if you found value in this message, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more timeless wisdom on love, life, and relationships, and share this video with a friend who needs to be reminded that the most powerful language in attraction isn't spoken. It's seen, it's felt, and it's understood by those who have the eyes and the heart to see it. Sign 5. She laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones. One of the most telling, yet often overlooked signs that a woman wants you to make a move is her laughter, especially when she laughs at your jokes, even the ones you know are terrible. And this isn't merely about your punchlines being worthy of a comedy show. It's about emotional investment and connection. Humour plays a deeply powerful role in attraction, because when someone laughs with you, they're signaling that they feel safe, open, and drawn into your energy. As Victor Borge wisely put it, laughter is the shortest distance between two people, and if you watch closely, you'll see this principle come alive when she finds herself giggling, even when you fumble a joke or when your timing is a little off. But here's where you need the eyes of a modern Stoic. Not all laughter carries the same weight, and discerning the difference between a polite chuckle and true, genuine laughter is crucial. For polite laughter might come with a closed posture, an averted gaze, or a quick change of topic, while genuine laughter reveals itself through her entire body. Relaxed shoulders, a leaning in towards you, sparkling eyes that stay locked onto yours, sometimes even a light, subconscious touch on your arm, as if she can't help but bridge the physical gap. And these micro-signals are not to be dismissed, because they are where the real language of attraction speaks loudest without a single word being said. Often in modern life, especially in a world saturated with digital distractions and filtered interactions, laughter remains one of the last raw, unfiltered responses that cannot easily be faked. And when a woman allows herself to be vulnerable enough to laugh openly in your presence, it's her heart's way of stepping closer to yours. She is subtly telling you, I feel good with you. I like the way you make me feel. And that's an invitation far more powerful than any text message or rehearsed compliment could ever be. Furthermore, if you notice that she doesn't just laugh reactively, but starts participating in the humour herself, sharing her own funny stories, teasing you in a playful and affectionate way, or building on your jokes instead of just passively receiving them, you are witnessing the weaving of emotional intimacy in real time. And this kind of back and forth playful energy is an unmistakable hallmark of growing attraction. It shows she isn't just entertained, she's engaged. She's choosing to deepen the dynamic, and she's giving you a clear green light to step further into the dance. The modern Stoic understands that in a noisy world, these small, beautiful signals are often drowned out by impatience or self-doubt, but true strength lies in patient observation and the wisdom to act when the signs are undeniable. So my advice to you is simple but vital. The next time a woman laughs warmly at something you said, even if it wasn't your best material, pause for a second, not to doubt yourself, but to absorb the energy of the moment. Look at her body language, feel the ease between you, and if the connection feels genuine, trust that it's safe to escalate the interaction a little, whether by holding eye contact longer, lightly touching her hand, or confidently leading the conversation into more personal territory. Because as Marcus Aurelius once wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. And in this context, it means trusting your intuition and stepping forward when the moment is right, not second-guessing the signs she is giving you with both her laughter and her presence. If you've experienced this kind of moment before, or want to share a time when a woman's laughter made you realize she was into you, I invite you to share your story in the comments. It's in sharing that we sharpen our understanding and grow wiser together. How to respond to these signs. When you notice these signals, the most important thing is to stay confident but respectful. Confidence is attractive, but pushing too hard or assuming too much can derail the moment. The key is to acknowledge her interest while maintaining a sense of composure. If she's dropping hints, don't overthink them. Respond naturally. Here's what you should avoid: misinterpreting friendly gestures as romantic interest or, worse, pressuring her to take things further before she's ready. Respect her boundaries at all times. Attraction should feel effortless, not forced. Instead, focus on actionable steps to build rapport. Use humour to keep the interaction light and fun. For example, if she complimented you, return the favour with a subtle, genuine compliment of your own. Say something like, I appreciate that. It's not every day someone notices those things. We've just unlocked the 5 secret signs a woman wants you to make a move on her. Everything from playful touches to prolonged eye contact and compliments. These are more than just little gestures. They're powerful ways women show interest, and recognising them can make all the difference in building a strong connection. Here's the bottom line. Confidence and respect are key. Don't overanalyze, but do pay attention. understand her signals, and respond in a way that builds trust and mutual attraction. Now that you've got the tools, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and when the moment feels right, make your move. Remember, attraction isn't just about the right words. It's about the connection you build with your awareness and presence. If this video helped, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more relationship wisdom. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which sign surprised you the most? And if you're ready to boost your confidence, check out the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.